Welcome to the channel. Today's video is all about jumps. I've ridden plenty of jumps in the past, but today I take on a new challenge. This video is all about getting our heads around going from jumping tabletops to jumping gaps, and how things don't always go to plan. So buckle up as I tackle a jump line like nothing I've ridden before. For this attempt, we're at the freeride park in Kinver, a hillside littered with amazing jumps and epic lines, most of which are out of my pay grade.
So today's task, off this into there, over that gap jump there, and then off that one at the end. Seems simple, let's start working on it.
I'm a big believer in the best way to get better at something is practice, so let's get to it. But before we try this section, we decided to have a little practice on some smaller jumps, which went a little something like this. Now that we're all warmed up, let's take a look at the jumps.
So the plan is to master 3 jumps. So we've got from that thing there into the shark fin, that's gap 1. Then it sort of comes down here, gap jump number 2 over there. And then that's the third one. Off there, down there. So in theory, pretty easy. We've definitely hit bigger. But it's all in the head, isn't it? It's all a mind game, so really keen to see how I manage and if I bail.
So why are gap jumps such a head game? I've ridden much bigger and longer jumps than these in the past. Just take a look at this from Old Hill Bike Park in Cornwall. This has a whole string of pretty sizable tabletops, not to mention the big step up at the end. And on a rather sloppy day in Wales, I rode the top section of the A470 jump line at Bike Park Wales. These lines are way more advanced than this little one at Kinver. For example, check out the size of the gap jump in Kinver compared to the tabletop I cleared at Grenoside Woods the week before. There's a huge difference in the size and length of these two jumps.
That felt good, man.
This is a hoofing great tabletop, and I cleared it fine, and I'm not even riding my normal bike here. So if I've hit all these bigger jumps in the past, what's the problem with a few small gap jumps? Well, that's just it. There's a gap in the middle. I know I have the skills to do this, so it's all just a head game. The only reason I'm hesitating is that I've seen even small jumps going wrong for riders that are much more skilled at jumping than I am. Like this one from Jim. So this isn't one of Jim's finest moments, messing up on a small jump. To put this small crash into context, this is Jim hitting the big tabletop you just saw me riding at Grenoside Woods. He has no problem hitting jumps. He can even take jumping one step further.
So we've just been messing about, having a little fun on this tabletop you can see here. And now we're trying to convince Jim to go and ride the gap jump. So we're just going to head straight back up and see if he's got the stones. Let's go.
As far as gap jumps go, this one looks intimidating. It's a big gap no matter which way you look at it. It's also made of stone, not dirt, and it's in wet conditions today. But with no hesitation, Jim hits it. With no problems. Here it is again. He knows his capabilities and he goes for it, a confidence I definitely lack when it comes to jumping. He even manages it with the added pressure of Gary laying under the jump. There's nothing like good support from your mates.
If I lie across here, would you have got me?
One way to find out.
Even experienced jumpers occasionally make mistakes on small jumps. So, back to my challenge. It's time for me to take some inspiration from Jim and tackle the matter at hand.
So I'm going to let Jim and Gaz give me a bit of a ride through first, and then I'm going to follow him into it. Nice.
Now I've got an idea of what it should look like, it's my turn. For the first run, the plan is to ride the first jump and see how it feels. This is not only a gap, but it's a bit of a hip too. Gary's going to tow me in. Now, I've never ridden a hip before, so this could be interesting.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that was good.
Feeling confident, we decided to attempt to ride all 3 jumps. I survived.
I messed up the trajectory.
It was definitely a funny angle after the second jump, but I've made it. Now it's time for one last run just to clean it up a bit. Nice. I was fully stoked that I've hit those jumps, mainly because they should all be well within my capability levels. It wasn't the prettiest run, but the confidence boost I got was second to none. With this experience, who knows what challenging features I'll be taking on over summer, which is fast approaching. So a huge thanks to Gary and Jim for towing me in and cheering me on. And thanks to you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, remember to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.